Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining Virtual Drinking Buddy. So the missus is out cooking me some supper. I think I got time to crack open one of these. Great Pines American IPA. So this is the last of my most recent Aldi haul. This is Great Pines American IPA. Weighs in at 6% ABV. And let's see, who brews this? Brewed by ABW Virginia Beach LLC. So, yeah, I've seen that name on several beers that I've gotten from Aldi lately. So, they must have taken over for State of Brewing to get some new beers in there. So, yeah, I'm surprised to see this one in there. I'm trying to remember, like, there was maybe, I was in Aldi, like, maybe a week apart from each other, and, this beer wasn't in there my first visit, but there it was the second visit. I was in there picking up, those Mexican-style lagers and saw this and thought, yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's cool can art. It's like a grizzly bear going after a salmon. So yeah, I thought that looked pretty cool. And I'm trying to remember, I feel like maybe I paid, maybe it was either $7.99 or $8.99 for the 6-pack. So for a 6-pack of IPA, not a bad price. Oh wow. So, am I smelling that right? So, I think I'm actually picking up like pine needles. It smells like being in an evergreen forest or something. If you've ever been to like the Rockies and there's just pine trees everywhere and it has that amazing smell. Like that is actually what this smells like. There's a little bit of the pine tar bitterness, but I'm actually smelling pine, and I'm assuming that's why it's called that, but it does not say what it is brewed with other than natural flavors. So yeah, poured out a nice golden color, soapy white head that's dissipated fairly quickly, and there's only one thing left to do. Cheers. Okay, that's not bad. A little bit of bitterness, light in body. I'm picking up like just the faintest bit of a sweetness, and I want to say it reminds me of like melon. Which I'm not a huge fan of melon, but it seems to work in these IPAs when I do notice it. But it's something that's got a mild sweetness to it. That's not overpowering. But yeah, fairly light in flavor. So for those of us that aren't big hopheads, this would work. It's got a little bit of bitterness to it. Like I said, just the faintest bit of a sweetness. I'm calling it melon. I might be wrong. Somebody else probably pick up something different. But yeah, I'm picking up melon. So yeah, I think I've said that like 17 times, so I'm going to stop beating that dead horse. Not a bad beer. And yeah, like I've said with these last couple of Aldi beers, at this point, yes, definitely cheaper than your other options. I think generally, if I'm seeing craft beers, IPAs in particular, they're on the low end, $10.99. I rarely ever see them below that. If they are, then some stores having a sale just to try to push old stock. might see them as much as $16.99 a six pack, but most commonly I'm seeing them $11.99 to $13.99. Just fairly common price range. And I maybe it's less important to you. Price point is always important to me just because I'm kind of a cheapskate. I'm always looking for a good deal. I guess that's why I'm drawn to all these Aldi beers, because they used to be just a little bit less, but now there's starting to be more of a gap between what these cost compared to other beers. Even the big boys are charging the same price for a six pack of beer. So yeah, you're definitely at this point in history saving money by going to Aldi and getting some beers. And they do have a decent little selection. It's not a ton, but yeah, it's something different. It'll help you save some money. So yeah, that's all I got. I kind of feel like my last 3 reviews has just been kind of a sales pitch or a love letter to Aldi, which I guess it kind of is. But just in case you're unfamiliar with Aldi, it's like a discount grocery store, and I don't know, they have an interesting selection of foods and all sorts of things. Google Aldi aisle of shame, and it's just this aisle where it's seasonal things that are constantly going out, along with like some houseware sort of things. And there's some good deals in there, but yeah, I want to say it's maybe a Facebook group or something, and yeah, you just never know what you're going to find. I know I personally had an impulse buy in the aisle of shame. I bought I want to say it's like a 26 quart stock pot, just because I thought it looked cool. I think I've used it a handful of times. I couldn't even tell you the last time I used it because it is so large. And now that my son's off to college, it's just me and my wife. And so it is hard to come up with an excuse to cook for that. A lot of times when I have cooked with it, the handful of times that I have, I've not come anywhere close to actually filling it up. I'm just using it because I want to use it. Just because I like the look of it. So, yeah. Anyway, went off on a little tangent there. Let me bring it back to the beer. This beer's all right. Light in flavor. If you're looking for a lot of IPA flavor that's going to smack you in the face, this is not it. But it'll get the job done and save you a couple of bucks. And with that, I'm going to move on. I hope you liked what you saw. And if you did, please hit that like and let me try that again. If you liked what you saw, please hit that like and subscribe button below. And don't forget to tell your friends. And this is the Malted Gentleman reminding you, you only have one liver, so use it wisely.